guys, this is Pretty Princess 100 and welcome to another top 10 video. This top 10 video is my most favorite boss fights in every game that I have played, which includes the Final Fantasy series, the Legend of Zelda series, the Kingdom Hearts series. Mostly those three because I'm not counting the other ones because I haven't been through all of them yet to decide on which ones are my favorite, like Final Fantasy 8, Dragon Quest. None of those are on there yet because I haven't decided that. Now, Final Fantasy X I have beaten, but there are some of those bosses that I didn't really thought of my favorite because I had to play through it again to see how I felt. But with this one, yes, I did the song for the boss fight song for Final Fantasy VII as the intro to this video. And the thing is we'll be listening to like the boss fight music of every boss into this thing, which means if anybody knows what the battle theme is, you'll know exactly which boss is on my top 10 favorite boss fights. Now, without further ado, let's start, shall we? Number 10. Number 10 on my list, on my top 10 most favorite boss fights ever, comes down to Jenova Life from Final Fantasy VII. You fight Jenova Life when you're heading to the Forbidden Forest or something to find Aerith. And she's in this little thing, and what happens is Sephiroth kills her, and then Sephiroth summons one of Jenova's things, which is Jenova Life. This was a cool boss fight. I have to admit to that. It was one of my favorites, and even though after I fought it, seeing Aerith fly down there dead made me tear up. I had to put that on there because it was one of my favorites, and I beat in Final Fantasy VII. So the thing is with that is I just love the Final Fantasy bosses, including 7's, because 7's was awesome. Now, I can't wait to see what this boss fight looks like in the remake version of Final Fantasy VII, because I do plan on getting that game as well. But moving on to our number 9. Number 9 position, spot. Number 9 on my list is Twinrova from The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Yes, where else would I have to put this on my list of my most favorite boss fights to ever do? Twinrova was probably one of my most favorites. Yes, I had to fight Kotaki or Komu, however you pronounce their name, first. But the second round, Twinrova, awesome. This whole boss fight, even phase 1, phase 2, was my most favorite because I got to enjoy it and I knew how, and just like this out, I knew what to do thanks to my dad, because thanks to my dad, he's trained me on all these boss fights and how to do everything. I watched, before I even played Ocarina of Time, I watched my dad play it and I saw him do this boss fight and I'm like, hey, that's pretty easy, I bet I can do that. And what happened, I actually did it, and I beaten Ocarina of Time before. It was actually, Ocarina of Time was my first Zelda game ever I beaten. Second, Wind Waker. And third, I was trying, third, I did Twilight Princess, like a few weeks ago. I finished that too. So I managed to finally beat one of my most favorite Zelda games ever, which was Twilight Princess. Now, I do have maybe like 2 Twilight Princess boss fights on here that are my favorite. But like, another one I'm gonna do is like my top 10 favorite Zelda bosses in the entire Zelda game series is what I'm also gonna do. But yes, Twinrova, number 9. So let's move on to our number 8 position. Number 8 on my list is Morphle from The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. This ginormous fish, yes, is on my favorite list. I enjoyed swimming in the water, taking care of his eye. My most part out of the favorite boss fight would be Phase 2, where you have to swim after him, hook shot the eye, and literally jab him with the sword, jab his eye with the sword. I thought that was pretty cool, and probably the favorite thing in this whole entire boss fight that I enjoyed doing. Now, not only do I love this boss fight for jabbing the sword into his eye, I also enjoy swimming in it because I like to be in the water. I enjoy going swimming myself. One of these days, on my bucket list is actually swim with a dolphin because it's actually one of my biggest dreams in the whole entire world to do. And Morphle, after seeing the boss fight Morphle and going through that hard-ass dungeon, which another video comes to my mind of the most hardest dungeons to go through, and I'm going to be probably looking at some of the people's things to see what theirs is and see if one of mine is on there to go through it. And when I do that one, the ones that I will put on there that I've never actually had on there is because I've seen people go through it. But back to this list. Yes, Morphle is probably one of my favorite boss fights in The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, but there is one more in the Twilight Princess that is up higher that I enjoy more than Morphle. So moving on to my number 7 spot. My number 7 spot goes to Malorus from Final Fantasy IX. You fight Malorus in the Lifa tree when you go back to the Lifa tree, and you're fighting her in Memoria. Yes, I like that battle because two of your party members meet her in the Fire Temple or whatever it's called, the Fire Shrine. Yes, the Fire Shrine. I just remembered that. You run into her in the Fire Shrine with Amarant and Freya, and you don't even see the battle because you don't know what it looks like. Well, later on in the game, when you go to the Lifa tree to confront Kuja, who is none other than Trans Kuja now, you end up running into the 4 Guardians, which includes the Fire Guardian, the Wind Guardian, the Water Guardian, and the Earth Guardian. And out of those 4 Guardians, Malorus makes my list because it was one of the toughest I had to deal with. Yes, I do enjoy Kraken because Kraken was probably an awesome boss fight, awesome fight in the whole entire thing. Now, just to let you guys be forewarned, there is a lot of Final Fantasy games on here that are Final Fantasy boss fights that are actually on my list because I enjoy them. and including 9, because 9 is just like, there's like maybe like 2 more on here that I really enjoy. But time to move on to our number 6 spot on my list. Let's move on, shall we? Now, number 6 on my list. My dad's probably looking at the TV and is being really confused right now. What boss fight has this theme song on it? Well, if you may, it's a great thing you asked, Dad, because number 6 on my list goes to Hades from Final Fantasy IX, an optional boss fight you get to decide to do in Memoria. Yes, I've done this boss fight and I enjoyed it and I liked it, because not only when you beat Hades, he gives you, after you beat Hades, he lets you shop. He gives you a shop that you can, he has a shop that you can buy off things on him, which is cool because when I was playing Final Fantasy IX through maybe like, I think the 3rd or 4th time that I've beaten it, I managed to get the final Aeon for Garnet, which was none other than Ark himself. Yes, I managed to get Ark for my first time, but this was the biggest secret that I have never told my dad, and now my dad gets to hear this because I finally got to do and get Ark, and oh my goodness, that is one damn good summon. It took me so long to get that because I told myself, I'm not going to stop until I get every single one. Now, with my Final Fantasy IX Let's Play, I'm not going to worry about doing that because it's just going to waste my time on going through everything, trying to get that again, because, it's just not my thing to go through as much side quests as I can, because I like to finish the game as much as possible. But, with Hades being my number 6, I wonder what else is going to be on here from Final Fantasy IX. Well, I guess we have to wait and find out, shall we? Moving on to our number 5 spot. My number 5 spot goes to Darkthorn from Kingdom Hearts 2. Darkthorn you encounter in the Beast's Castle in the first visit. It has 2 rounds I believe. One, you're just fighting this gigantic ball with a bunch of chains on it. And the second round, you're fighting this enormous beast, which I'm actually going to get ready to show you a video of what it looks like, if none of you guys have ever heard of it before. So Darkthorn is actually, this round of Darkthorn is actually my favorite because, it's just, one of the creatures. And this is what the creature looks like. The reason why I have a Darkthorn on my list is because, 1, the boss fight is awesome. 2, Sora gets to jump on a chandelier, drop it down on the boss fight, and swing him across the room. And 3, I don't have a 3. It's just a damn good boss fight. That's all I gotta say. Moving on to my number 4 spot. Number 4 on my list is the Red Dragon from Final Fantasy VII. I put the Red Dragon on here because, what of it? It's an awesome boss fight. I really don't have nothing much to say. All I know to do is it was really fun. So moving on to my number 3 spot, shall we? Now, before I even actually say what my number 3 is, my dad is probably looking at the TV like I'm really confused what's going on here. Now, my number 3 is Goma, but which Zelda game am I choosing that I fought him in? Is it Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, or Wind Waker? Now, before I actually reveal the actual Zelda game that I've actually fought him and liked him in, Ocarina of Time, however, I do like that Goma boss fight, but it's just way too short for me. It only takes me 2 tries under 20 minutes. It takes me like about 15 minutes or so. It takes me, no, not 15 minutes. It takes me about like 3 or 4 minutes to beat her. The one in Twilight Princess, I enjoy that because it has 2 rounds in it. You use the Domain Shrine, and you use none other. Thank you, Lord, for all Xandri's words ever. It's Mr. Smashy Smash in the boss fight. Now, however, I do love those other 2 from Twilight Princess and Ocarina of Time, but my most favorite boss fight for Goma goes to none other than the Wind Waker Goma, because it has 2 rounds. First round, you have the shell on. You see the shell on Goma. I will show you exactly what it looks like. Let me pause this real quick. So this is what this Goma looks like with the shell on him. Now, see the first phase, you have to take the shell off of her, and after you take off the shell, this is what she ends up turning into. Now let's see if I can find one. That is what Goma turns into after you take the shell off of her. So, that is why I chose number 3, Goma from Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, on this list as my favorite. Yes, there's the other 2 I do enjoy, but not as much as this one, because I like to use my grappling hook on the dragon, tear down that rock on her, and smash her shell. Moving on to my number 2 spot. Yes, my number 2 spot on my list goes to Stallard from The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I enjoy this boss fight so much, it's now my number 2. One reason, I love the spinner. The spinner is probably one of my most favorite items in The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I enjoy riding it, and guys, Stallard's amazing. I love it. That's all I gotta say. I'm not gonna even describe it because I have a feeling my phone's getting ready to turn off soon. But moving on to my number 1 spot. Now, before I reveal my number 1 spot, just so you know, we went through so many of them. My dad's probably looking at TV really confused. What could be my number 1 favorite boss fight that I have ever done in my entire life? And without further ado, Dad, I will show you exactly what my favorite boss fight is. Here we go, shall we? You guys can hear me through this because I'm going to keep this on while I'm playing it because it's my most favorite battle theme music ever. And I'll explain why. Main reason why Transfusion is my number 1 favorite boss fight is because you get to fight him in this beat-ass theme music. It is the best theme music that you can ever fight in a boss fight. Transfusion is the best that you can ever fight. I love him. Not only does he look like a girl, but Forenzaki has the best battle theme music in the entire game. And I know my dad's agreeing on this, like, cause this music is beat ass, like lyrically beat ass. I enjoy it. It's wonderful. And the most reason why I love this boss fight is not only because Kuja has awesome, he does really good at his fights. I've done this boss fight many times, and it took me 3 tries to beat TransFusion to actually finish the game, to beat him to move on to the final boss fight, because he kept using his Flare Star power, and I don't like that move, but oh well. But that's not the reason why I love TransFusion. I just love TransFusion because of this beat-ass music right here. It's a good boss fight to fight him in. Good theme music. I enjoy it. That's why TransFusion, you are my #1 on my top most favorite boss fights on my list. You rock, dude. Now, moving on to this, I know that we went through so many and personal stuff, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button and make sure to subscribe. This is Pretty Princess 100 out. Peace out. Have an enjoy your day, and let's dance more to TransFusion's theme music. Catch you guys later. Goodbye. Peace out.